theme tonight is to show and tell. And see, we got several things. I brought a box of stuff just in case we were short on items, but I've got a couple that I'm going to share as well. But who would like to go first?
Since I'm standing, I'll start.
Pardon?
Since I'm standing, I'll start.
Okay, go right ahead.
I almost forgot where I hid this since we didn't have it when it was scheduled. So everybody probably knows what it is, so I don't want to drop it because it'll probably break the glass. It's, needless to say, it's a meat grinder.
I brought one too.
Oh. Let's see if our stories connect.
Probably not.
Okay. What is the history of the meat grinder? This is my meat grinder. It was my mother's. I'm assuming it may have been my grandmother's. I have another one at home that's more modern, but this is an economy number 20 made in the USA. An economy number 20 meat grinder is generally considered vintage rather than antique. While often used for rustic, antique-style kitchen displays, the term antique technically applies to items over 100 years old, and they consider vintage 20 to 99 years old. These popular durable cast iron or steel wooden handled manual grinders usually date from the mid-20th century. The meat grinder was initially designed as a hand-cranked device to force meat through a perforated plate for sausages. It gained popularity in late 19th century America, becoming a staple kitchen tool for processing various foods. And there's a little bit difference in the history. Meat grinder, commonly known as the meat mincer in Ireland, is used for chopping meat into fine pieces. It can be used for mixing raw or cooked meat, fish, and vegetables. It is the best way to process meat and is a widely used piece of equipment by butchers. Butchers have been known to use either mincing knives or meat cleavers in the kitchen for years to produce a quantity of minced meat. This resulted in a slow and laborious process. The advent of the meat mincer has not only made the mincing process easier but faster for the butchers. The first meat mixer or meat mincer was invented in the 19th century by a German inventor named Baron Karl Drais. Although some versions of the device date back to much earlier, the oldest form of meat mincer was hand cranked, which forced meat through a metal plate with several small holes, which resulted in long, thin strands of meat. It was fed into a funnel that was placed at the top of the mixer. This meat would pass through a hand-cranked screw conveyor that would squash and mix the meat before passing it through the metal plate. Needless to say, it was a slow process. And with passage of time, this hand-crank machine became powered by electricity. The meat mincer has a great adaptability and efficiency now, and a huge variety in mincer plates allows a butcher to produce different types of minced meat. The mincer plates would be these things that would determine the size of whatever you were mincing. However, traditional meat mincers have not really changed a lot. They are manually operated and made of cast iron as earlier. They are similar to the original mincer designs dating back to the early 1900s. And the butchers still prefer using a variety of mincer knives.
It makes good ham salad.
Yeah.
Make lots.
Thank you, Diane.
What's the brand name of it?
It's plated. I mean, it says 20 economy, made in the USA.
And do you know what year it is?
I have no idea.
Sometimes they have the year on them.
What's
But,
the brand? I could-
It's the 20 economy.
Oh, okay.
Economy number 20 is what they're called when I looked it up, and it was on here, so I thought, oh wow, yeah, I got it one of them, you know. So as I said, it's not an antique, but it's vintage, and it actually, you screwed it on, I won't do it, but you screw it onto the table. Thus, and have a dish underneath it and throw your stuff in there and grind it. And you've probably, especially the women, maybe even the men, have all used one at one time or another.
Yeah. You know who still uses them?
You?
The Amish. Oh, for sure. Amish, because they don't believe in electricity, so unless they have a gas wire or something,
I remember using it, and the one that I probably used mostly was a a newer one. And it probably wasn't even as heavy as this.
As
I
a
know
kid
it-
growing up, that was my job on Thanksgiving morning, was they made cranberry relish. And they had to put in a certain
okay.
type of a deal, and I did all the cranberries, whole cranberries.
So maybe he has one too, so maybe he'll go next.
That's a good idea.
Won't take long.
Still all here.
I don't know where this is, but it says Boyertown, Pennsylvania, C.I. Company. And you were talking about the wooden handle ones being 50s, did you say? Really getting ready.
Wooden handle, I can't even see where it says the wooden handle. I know I read something about a wooden
Yeah.
handle somewhere.
Well, that's okay. And you called these mincers? These
yeah, different plates.
round
Yeah.
doodads that look like poker chips.
Yeah.
These nasty looking things. And I can remember we didn't make much ham salad or meat salad or anything like that. But don't hurt yourself.
I think mine's heavier.
Mine's bigger.
Heavier, maybe.
We made cranberry salad. We put cranberries, of course, and we quartered up oranges and ran them through this thing, and hasn't been used in a while.
I bet the oranges were messy, weren't they?
Sorry,
I bet the oranges were messy, weren't they, going through there?
nasty.
No,
Messy.
messy.
Oh, oh, yeah. All of it was messy. But a lot of good dinners came out of this. So that concludes the grinder portion.
Thanks, Kayla.
Nobody else
King Cover was.
Oh, okay.
Does anybody have questions?
Just got one question.
Okay.
So at our farm, we have a large grinder in the barn. What would that have been used for, do you think?
Make hamburger,
Oh, yeah.
But it was like,
Burr mill?
it's large though.
well,
Need a
sausage.
burr mill?
And we had
probably.
I think back in the day, my family had land like sheep.
Oh.
Would they have ground maybe,
Yeah. And they had burr mills that you could stick up to an electric motor. Or they had hand crank corn shells.
well, maybe that's what that is,
Oh,
for corn?
yeah.
I bet that's what it is, yeah.
I'll bet it was too.
Thanks for sharing
Yeah,
that.
we have something similar.
Okay, that's exactly
Yeah.
what it
Daddy
is.
had on for
Because
sausage.
this thing's big.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
So it'd be,
horses and the cattle.
it would shuck corn?
Well, you take it off and have the corn on the cob. You want to be on the cob and then
For
put
a
it
farmer,
through there
maybe shelling the corn was.
to grind and get it, sometimes to get it off of the
Okay.
corn cob.
Cob.
Okay, who would like to go next? Gary?
Well, this is what I brought in, and everybody thought it was a knife.
Looks like a knife.
Yeah, well, it's not. And, it's kind of a story behind it. So when I went to college, I went into engineering, and they said, "Gosh, you got to have a slide rule." I said, "What's that?" I didn't know anything about it. So this is what this is. It's a slide rule. And what you do is multiply and divide with, if you know how to use it, I long forgot how to use it. It's made from bamboo. And every once in a while, if you weren't, you had to put some powder in here make sure it slid, because otherwise it'd freeze up and then you don't have anything, so. At any rate, if you were in engineering and before the calculator, you hooked this onto your belt and that's how you multiplied in your exam, because you didn't have time to multiply it all out by hand, that's for sure. So. Anyhow, that's what it is. It's not a knife.
I was close though when I said something about measuring or
Yes, you did.
something.
Yep. Yep. That's it.
Do you know what it's worth? Is it worth it?
Not it. I have no idea. I haven't seen one in a long time.
And where do you keep yours?
On the shelf. It was a little dusty when I brought it down.
Did you learn a lot by using it?
Yeah. Well, it was almost a necessity because I didn't realize it at the time, but you could never have multiplied all them numbers in a 1 hour exam. You just spent all that time multiplying out the numbers longhand, and you wouldn't even got to the second or third problem. So, yeah, I learned the hard way that you better know how to use it.
They're really slick when you know how to use them. But like you say, I've forgotten mine too. I don't know how to use it anymore. I almost brought it tonight. We could have been twins.
That shut off my phone, but not my watch.
They're not near as fancy as this.
You're next, I believe.
Okay.
That's like it's been well.
Well,
So-
this is a very part of a very unique collection. Some of it is mine, but these are little sets. Usually they come in 3-piece sets, actually. My father-in-law collected these for years. They were his pride and joy. He loved them. The smaller they were, the better he liked them. Rogine knows this. Let's see, and this one goes with that.
History, but I don't think I'm gonna get it.
At Christmas time, we would all kind of have a fight as to, who could find Dad. These little characters. Okay, that's where they are. They're bone china, and they're,
Andrea?
pardon?
Where's the brand? It
No,
just says
it's
Gold
just,
Time
no,
Japan.
but they're made in Japan, and they're all hand painted. And this is a dying art now. But every Christmas or his birthday, this is all he wanted. And the littler they were, the better he liked it. And one Christmas, my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, he got this package, and he couldn't, he was just like a little kid at Christmas time, and he took this package and there was a shirt in it, a real nice shirt. And he looked at it, and he started going through it, lifting stuff up. And he looked at me and said, "Is that all there is? Isn't there any little stuff in here?" And one time I can remember he went in the living room, and he couldn't hardly wait. And the Christmas tree was right by his chair. And he got this one box, and he would put his hand down and scratch it until he got it open. And when he got, and he was looking at it, but the thing was, it was chained up. There was like 4 or 5 different pieces on it, and he got them out. And somebody came in the back door, and he couldn't get them back either. So, but we found this place in Decatur, my husband and I, and they had a lot of these things. And we always kept it a secret. We would never tell anybody where we got it. We would always find the best things, what we wanted, and then we'd let the other kids have some to give him too. But we wouldn't, let anybody know where they were. But he had 2 full cases, Rogine?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rogine knows all about the little stuff. She had to clean the cabinets out and dust them off sometimes. But yeah, that was, and when he passed away, we decided to donate most of the collection to the Masonic Home over at, is it? Sullivan, yeah. And they built really big, nice cases for it. And they ended up insuring it for $25,000.
Wow.
So, and that's the story of the little stuff.
Okay, I'm sorry. Angie needs to know your name for, she's
Oh.
writing an article.
Patricia Burke.
Okay.
You have to go Patricia.
Okay.
I usually do Patricia.
Okay.
You know, it depends.
Okay, I'm
I just
sorry. I
forgot your
didn't know
last
you knew that.
Freeze.
That's why I wanted to make sure.
Yep.
There's
But
just
yeah,
so many
that's the
theories.
story of the little stuff, and our whole family has got they each were able to take something that they wanted, and part of this I got, but we had a little poodle at the time, and we got the little poodles, so that's it. That's my little collection.
is still on there.
Yeah, and it is a dying art, so they're very, very hard to find, the little bone china sets anymore. And they usually come in 3s.
Can you find them on eBay and places like that?
I've never really looked for them, you know. But, oh yeah, if you could find one that was that big, he would just so excited he could not stand it. Just little bitty things.
And what are you gonna do with them someday?
Well, I'm sure somebody in my family will know the story and want them. Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's some huge thing. Yeah, I know my daughter is dealing with her mother-in-law's collection right now. She has thimbles and
Some gold ones.
yeah. Oh yeah, she does have gold ones, and you know, her collection just goes on and on and on. It's beautiful. They found one that they were going to give to one of the daughters, and she didn't take it. And he had looked it up on the internet, and it was like worth $500.
Wow.
Just for one thimble. That was gold. Yeah, I'm sure she was. So, thank you. I hope you enjoyed it.
Don't break them.
I'm Abby Alexander, and it all started when I was in 2nd grade. This little boy that lived down the street on Lincoln Avenue came down the street, and he looked kind of weary, and he looked at me and he goes, "I have to move." And he says, "I want you to have this." And he handed me this thing. Does anybody know what it is? And he said,
I'd have to get a closer look at it.
my
I'm sure you're gonna
grandfather,
tell us.
my grandfather gave me bushel baskets full of Native American artifacts. And this was in it. And we're moving. And my mother won't let me take these bushel baskets full of arrowheads and axe heads and grinding rocks and all these rocks, and the table that you grind this on, it had a little dent in it. It was the same kind of rock. And he says, "We have to put it on the Allied van line, and they're going to weigh the thing. And then they're going to charge my mother by the pound." And he said, "She won't let me take anything. So I want you to have this." And I looked at it like, well, I've got a toothbrush. I can get some of that off of there. And I scrubbed, and I scrubbed, and I scrubbed after he left. And nothing,
glad you
nothing
didn't get it
came
off?
off. And I held on to it, and I made this little stand for it because it tends to rock a little bit. So anyway, that, and then I wrote his name down, because he'd moved away. When I was in second grade, your mind is caught up in other things. And his name was Steve Goodin, Goodin. And his dad was the manager of IGA. And as Alexanders, we weren't allowed to socialize. So that ended that. And I didn't know that until I used the city directory to find out who was living in 1961 on Lincoln Avenue in Judge McCullough's house, 405 Lincoln Avenue. So anyway, his name was I don't know, Kenneth Goodwin and he was the manager of IGA and got a better job somewhere, and the whole family moved. And before he left, he brought the bushel baskets full of stuff down to my mother, and she put it in our rock garden, which has a pool. It doesn't anymore, they filled it in, but a lily pond, and then a berm in the back, and there were rocks all over the place that came from him. And his grandfather's name was Vernon C. S-E-E. Does anybody know where he got? Because the important thing about Native American rocks and artifacts and arrowheads is you have to make a diagram of where you found it. Because there are people that are napping arrowheads in their garage. And so you don't know if it's a 100-year-old rock that's just been done last weekend, or it was something that Mr. C found.
Yes, there was some people named C over at Mason's Hood.
Okay, well, he was quite the spelunker when it came to finding Native American artifacts in this area. So when I was in college, my art teacher was Dr. Peter Bodner, and he had a squash blossom necklace that he'd wear every day, and it must have weighed 35 pounds. And you're just
Very, very heavy.
and he was very, very knowledgeable on Native American things. So just to brown nose a little bit, I took this in one day, and he said, "Oh, thank you for bringing that in. That was so thoughtful of you." And he says, "I just love it." And I'm beginning to wonder, what in the world it is, because it's got all these different faces on it, like a smile here, and a star there, and a star up here, and all kinds of.
Have you tried the Illinois State Museum?
That's who I'm
Some-
donating it to.
Some of the curators.
Remember my cousin Anna Seahoff who came? She told me to take it there. I took it to Dixon Mounds, and Mike, the director there, Mike, he said he took a look at it and he held it like, "Oh, it was made last weekend with Mark Salat." And I knew better because I had a good memory in second grade.
Yeah,
And I
don't
remember
you?
the guy that gave it to me, and then I started Googling his name.
I had an experience like that with a picture
Really?
here in Lincoln.
Well, the Reverend Stephen Ernest Goodin died August 11th, 2023, and I have his obituary. He trained here at LCC, I think, and the whole thing just spells it all out. He went to Woodruff High School in Peoria, where I'm from, and he had one son, and his grandmother Marjorie C. and one grandfather Vernon C. So thank goodness for legacy, because I got that, and I wrote a final grade for him. So he was a sweet young man, and just as innocent as could be in second grade.
Oh, what a nice story.
Yeah, well, that's my
Memory.
story. But this was in that bushel basket, and he told me it was. See, it has a little
Oh, yeah.
indentation here, and you could, like a pestle. And
Did any of your contacts imply what tribe this may have been from, or?
I know that my Peter Bodner said it went in the teepee, and it was an object of art. And contrary to what Mike said down at Dixon Mounds, because I was going to donate it there, because I had a cabin in Havana, and I could go visit it. sometimes. You know,
We won't tell.
we won't tell her that I talk. And this little thing was, my mother was in Oklahoma when she was growing up, and this is Native American beadwork. So I learned how to do the beading and repaired it because the orange ones were coming off. And it's like orange instead of orange. So, but it's a little suede coin purse, and she always had money in there when I was little. And this, we had a cabin in Minnesota, and this was the Native American doll that you could buy at the gift store in Bemidji, because our cabin was in Hackensack. And her head fell off. So on the way here, I held her in my lap to get the glue to dry. Otherwise, it looked pretty silly without a head. She's looking that way. She's looking west. So that's it.
Cool.
Sorry for going on.
Yeah.
No,
It was interesting.
Yes, it was.
So I'll go next. My name's Blake Wilson. I think some of you may know me. I live in Colorado, but my folks are 86 here, and so I spend a lot of time in Illinois. I've been here for 6 weeks this time. I'm going home this week for a couple weeks, and then I'll be back July 1st. But I collect a lot of different things, and it's so funny when you look at your collections. A friend of mine once said, because I've got a lot of different things, even the rocks, I fly fish, and I collect a rock out of every stream and a river that I fish in, and I've got like 20 rocks in the pile that I do. And these things give us energy in our life. Like all my collections I just love, but my kids would look at them and go, I don't want that stuff. And I'll just share, my mother probably started me collecting. I collect a lot of different things, but I collect beer cans, and I've got over 1,000 vintage beer cans from the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. And I used to collect all sorts of cans, and then I kind of started limiting my collection to Colorado cans, because there's maybe 150 good Colorado cans. But you asked about price. A can recently sold, there's an auction house that everyone goes to, and a bunch of billionaire guys have gotten into the collection world of beer cans. A beer can, empty beer can, sold a couple weeks ago for $120,000. Just for an empty beer can.
Okay, if it still had beer in it, would it?
No. So, well, that's a good question. So I've got one can that's vintage that has beer in it. I don't think the value is greater. Because they're so heavy with beer, all the collectors prefer to bottom open, and they're all flat tops, usually, or cone tops, the old cone tops. But the flat tops, you use one of those church keys, and the ideal way to open them is underneath, like from the bottom, so you preserve the top.
Well, I'll have to
The
pour
reason I
the
asked is
beer out of
because
the one I got.
I have some Dale Earnhardt Coca-Cola bottles,
Sure.
and he had another brand of soda. I can't think of the name of it. It's Yellow Bella or something.
Yeah.
And I have a set of 6 of them. My grandkids opened some of the Coke bottles
Oh.
and
Oh, for
drank
sure.
them. But I still have some that haven't, and I always thought maybe they would be worth more if they had never been
Yeah,
opened.
good question. I'm not sure.
Sure doesn't
Depends
taste.
on what it is.
Well, I have some Wheaties and boxes, cornflakes boxes too, that if I open them,
Yeah.
probably bugs come out.
Probably. And they, like the beer cans, I know, like the beer can website, they also sell, like they do soda cans too. So there's a collector's world out there for soda cans as
Oh,
well.
these are bottles.
Yeah, bottles probably as well. Yeah.
What was the brand of beer that,
I'd have to look. I'm not quite sure. I had not heard of
Can
it
we
before.
see? Can we see your?
Well,
Oh, you got. You
I've got
have it-
this, but I'm
okay, you
gonna.
have it
That's
on-
just one thing.
You
so,
have it on your.
So a lot of people collect sports cards. I never got into sports cards. I live in Denver, so I'll kind of walk through the collection. And I collect a lot of America 250 stuff. So as you know, America turns 250 years July 4th, right? So being in Denver, I'm kind of lucky because the Denver Mint is one of 3 mints in the country. You have the San Francisco Met,
Denver.
and then West Point, and then Denver. And so,
Pennsylvania.
and Pennsylvania, the big ones there, I believe. But these are kind of cool, and I'll hand them out to everyone. So here's 4 there. 5
I've been to
there.
the Met in Denver.
Here's 4. Pardon me?
I've been to the Met in Denver.
Yeah, it's a cool tour. And you all can keep these.
Are these two-sided?
These are part of the semi-quincentennial coin set. So America's coming out with coins for America 250. And they've come out with nickels are in circulation, dimes are in circulation, the $50, I think they release it in a couple weeks, circulation, but they're coming out with 5 different quarters. And they've already released 2 of the quarters. The Mayflower Compact quarter, so it has the Pilgrims on it. The Revolutionary War quarter, which has Washington, the one I just handed out. Declaration of Independence.
But they're all the same.
Those are all the same. The U.S. Constitution, and then Gettysburg has the Lincoln one. And I collect a lot of Lincoln things. So when I don't know if you remember, but when they did the presidential dollar series, I was able to go down to the mint and get a bag of 1,000, which is kind of fun. So I've got this bag of 1,000 of the coins. And so I collect a lot of Lincoln things. And then I was at the mint a couple months ago, and they had a bag of the Illinois dollar quarter. So I don't know if you guys want to, have you seen it all?
I don't.
I'll pass them around so you can see both of these guys
Oh,
right here.
wow, this is cool.
They're kind of cool. And I collect different coins, but mostly penny coins. And the penny, they no longer mint it or make them. 2025 was the last year. This year they are making a semi-quincentennial coin penny, but it's only going to be found in the sets. So you've got to buy the set. It's like $80, I think, at the U.S. Mint site. So it's going to be hard to get a lot of those. But for the 2025, I was able to get some rolls of the 2025 pennies just to keep. And it'll be kind of fun to have in, 50 years if I'm still around, which I probably won't be. But to have these little pennies, and I always thought it'd be kind of fun to have the Abraham Lincoln $1 pieces, and when I'm older I can run around and buy a cup of coffee probably for $10, I don't know.
Well, that looks like the Virginia quarter.
Yeah,
Right
but they're the quarter, so that's, and this one is the Pilgrim one, the Mayflower Compact. But they had the state quarters, they had the presidential quarters, and I just collect a little bit of all those things. It's kind of fun for me. And that's really all I've got. I just thought I'd hand those out and just share that that's one of my passions. Because I'm in Denver, it's easy for me to go over to the mint. And so it's kind of fun. Like if you buy them online, they cost quite a bit. They're a premium. But they have one of those coin machines that you can feed dollar bills into. And so when they're releasing the next coin, James Monroe, actually Thomas Jefferson's the next one for the Declaration of Independence. And I'll sit there and funnel $10 bills into it until I get a bunch of them. And so I just sit there and they drop into the little thing, and I collect them, and I get a little bag like this from the mint. And then I always collect I've got 2 children, 29 and 26, and I collect 2 sets of everything. So I always have enough that someday I think I can give a set to each of my kids. And that's kind of what I do.
Do they know you have them now?
Yes, yeah. And I've got like Lincoln, like my birth year, 1966, I've got sets of those. And then I collect a lot of the Lincoln penny sets. So I've got 2 of those. And then, things like this I collect and just, yeah.
Did you go to school here?
I went to Illinois.
I mean.
Oh, no, I grew up in Springfield. So good question. I grew up in Springfield. I moved to Colorado in 2002. I've been in medical device forever, and Medtronic transferred me out there. So I've been out there since 2002. And I've been coming back to Lincoln for the last year and a half,
Did you
probably.
ever work in Springfield?
Yeah.
At the hospitals?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I've probably seen you then.
Yeah. So
I
like,
worked in surgery. And
yeah, I did too.
Used to have your Medtronic.
What's your first name?
Ruby?
Ruby. So I worked with Tim Van Fleet and Terry
I knew
Penzick, all those guys.
Yeah.
John Fisk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I started spinal implants in 2002, and then I owned Big Apple Bagels in Springfield for a long time.
Oh, I remember that place.
So I had that place for a while until we closed it down and sold one of the
So if
stores.
you went to high school there, which high school did you go?
Springfield High, and I graduated in
They're redoing
'84.
that now, you know, Springfield.
Yeah, it looks nice. Yeah, so it's fun for me to be back here. I've been able to reacquaint with people and do some things, and it's been nice. But that's my collection.
Oh, that was very interesting.
Thank you. Ruby, I see you've got something in front of you there.
That's you.
Well, it's not much.
6 rods, 34.
I'll start with one of my mother's things,
Who did it?
Dr. Daniel.
which is all wood burning, I believe. And I found, I didn't know if she even had this stuff until after she died and I was going through our thing. But this is a handkerchief box.
Sure.
So I put handkerchiefs in it.
It's cute.
Oh, isn't that pretty?
And it's still in pretty
Hi,
good shape, and she wrote her name at the top, Flora Rubin.
That's cool.
And the other were toys of mine when I was little, and I think I probably got this, I don't know, I had to be in maybe first or second grade. A classmate had a birthday party, and I went, and I won this. And I was told later I was supposed to give this back to the birthday girl. But I didn't know that.
Maybe she's still alive.
I took it home. And then this is something I know somebody must have gave me when I was a little girl, and I do remember playing with it a lot. It's just like a little tea set. It's metal, but it's Donald Duck.
Oh,
that's
wow.
cute.
I don't know if Donald Duck's stuff is worth anything or what.
I don't
but
think they've
I
seen
remember
this
playing
one.
with it a lot.
Have you seen this one?
And this is to vote Republican. It's when Herbert Hoover was running. Do you know who his vice president was? Charles E. Curtis. And then the whole ticket is in here, the governor and inside was like, I don't know, it's needles in that little case. And there's some still in there. For a sane government for both state and nation. I guess we could still say that today. And stick to the Republican Party. But I don't really know any of the names for the state ticket. And the other thing, I don't know, I know people, I don't know whether boys did it or not, but girls did it a lot, even when I was still in high school, have these autographs.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't know my mother had this anywhere. But this was, in fact, I didn't even know she went to college as much as she did. But it's from when she was at Illinois State Normal University in 1927. And then it's just all the names of the people that she was in school with, and yet a lot of those names were familiar to me because they're all from the area, sort of. And the neat little things that they wrote to each other.
That's neat.
And it was really neat to read all of those. And I thought, gosh, I wish I had seen some of that when she was still alive.
Read us something out of it.
This would be good. Dear Miss Rubin, remember me as a classmate in grammar and mensuration. Good luck. Margaret Dwyers, Stonington, Illinois. Years ago, I wouldn't have known anything about Stonington. Of course, as I grew up, I know now where Stonington is. Well, there was some. I'm glad to have had a pleasant association with you in this mid-spring term. A Rick A. David. When you are teaching phonics, remember your classmates. Don't we wish they were still teaching phonics?
Yes.
Someone from Chillicothe, I know. Dear Miss Rubin, I'm glad to have been in your class. Perhaps I shall see you in Lincoln or some of Logan County's other towns sometime. Lots of success. Mildred Andrews, Elkhart, Illinois. She must have thought Mom was from way far away. Dear girl, next to me in General don't know what it is, a C and an X. I hope you will remember the songs we killed, the programs we suffered in. Carmen Steed. And there's another one, when you think of me when you remember phonics class. Someone from Bradford, Illinois. Think of me as a link in your golden chain of friendship. Nell Osmond, Serena. Think of me as one of your classmates in teaching process class. Never knew they had such classes. Dear Flora, when your golden chain of friendship, upon your golden chain of friendship, remember me as a link. You're a process classmate. Catherine Ward from Murrayville, Illinois. They were from all over. These were from all over. I had no idea that she remembered or had met all these people from all the different places in Illinois. Remember me as one of the fellow sufferers in the hottest room. And I don't know what its initials. At the hottest time of day, at the hottest time of day, 4 to 8 hours. A gray summer from Borland, North Borland in Peoria, Illinois.
I know where Borland is.
Well, that's probably enough. They talk a lot about phonics and the things they suffered through. All these classes they suffered through.
Ruby, did your mom, did she teach when she got out?
She taught in one-room country schools until she got married, which wasn't until she was 32. And yeah, making anywhere from $25 a month and boarding with somebody. I think the highest she ever made was like $50 a month.
Around here or?
Around here. Yeah, surrounding towns.
What schools, one room school also did you teach in?
Well, they were, some were more around New Holland. The ones around New Holland, I don't remember. I have the names all written down, but I don't know them off my head anymore. I'm too old, I can't remember them.
You're having a senior moment.
Yeah, I'm having senior moments a lot. But, yeah, and she boarded with a lot of nice people, and yeah, I think that's, well, my dad was from New Holland. My mother was from Emden. And I didn't realize until I got older that through the field, New Holland and Emden aren't that far apart.
No, right. So who was your dad?
Court Bartman.
Really?
Court Egbert Bartman. And I always, from the time I was little, I'd ask my mom, well, where did he get that middle name? And she never knew. But now one of the others on my father's side had done enough of their genealogy that there were people by the name of Egberts in the family as a last name, as a family name. So that's where it came from. Am I the last one?
I don't know. Is there anybody else that has bring something? I've got a couple of items, and I'll get this set up and get in the frame. I keep mostly nostalgic type stuff. I was a student at Lincoln College in 1965 when they were having their centennial year. And at that time, they were producing these Lincoln medallions for Lincoln College, which says 1865 on this side, 1965 on the other side. So we got that one I'm keeping for a long time.
That's cool.
It's pretty rare.
Then this one I found in my father's after he passed away, and it is a paperweight, and it says Illinois Traction System on it. So eventually it might end up in our train collection over here, but nice hefty. I use both of these when I'm photographing things at home and I need to get them to lay down. They're good weights for that. This one, nice brass, I rescued this from my dad's fishing box. He had fishing hooks in it. And he got it from his grandmother, my great-grandmother Dona. And it was, you know how brass turns after a while to that dark patina. Well, I had somebody polish it up for me. I don't know if you remember Bob Fernio lived in town back in the 70s at least, because I think that's when he did this. And the patent date on this is February 17th, 1874.
What is it, just a little,
Probably some kind of container, I don't know, it
little
was
container?
some kind of, but there's the patina that was on the outside.
Sure.
Yeah.
And he
Some of
polished
them
it
are
up
called
for me.
patch boxes.
Pardon?
Patch boxes.
Patch boxes,
Yeah,
okay.
that's where you keep
And it has a
beauty mark.
a parrot carved in the front. I never knew that parrot was there until he polished it. It's a really nice little memento of my great-grandmother. She was a German immigrant. She came about that time, 1873 I think she got here. And so 1874 is pretty close. And this is my unknown. Everybody's going to help me figure out what this thing is for. Now, they used to have spoon bits for those drills that you know, the cranky drills. Braces they called them. And this it looks like a spoon bit for cutting something. It's nice, got a nice sharp edge on it. So whether it was to open up the end of a hole or something like that to make a rod fit better and, you know, get it in the hole better or whatever. But then I got to think, well, maybe it's actually a kitchen utensil.
Can opener.
Where you used to get the sugar in big tubs, and it wouldn't be granulated like we see it nowadays. It'd be clumped together, and this would be something to break it apart.
That kind of
Yeah,
does look
because-
like a can opener, though. You could pound that, maybe punch it into a can, maybe.
Yeah, something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I
Oh,
wouldn't think it'd open
watch
cans
this.
too much.
It could be like a.
You use AI.
Yeah.
She's gonna Google it and
No, just
maybe
use-
figure out
use-
you
That's
get
how
it. You get it.
Oh, let's erase.
It might be a cork out of a whiskey barrel.
Yeah.
I
What
wanted
is
That's
this?
what I
What
was
is this
thinking.
tool?
Yeah.
Bung
Can you
hole
share with me?
drill.
I wanted the brass thing too. He's using the,
That could even
Here we
be for
go.
like powder.
So this is ChatGPT. This appears to be an old glazier's putty knife, or window glazing
windows,
tool.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
It was used by window installers and carpenters, applying glazing putty around panes of glass and wooden windows.
Yeah. And make it easy to stab
I thought it was
your
more,
hand.
more than
Darn,
that.
now you don't know what you're
No, I was
missing
just gonna say, that
too.
doesn't sound that exciting.
Yeah, it's kind of
And
interesting.
he said
Yeah.
it was sharp, so I could see it sticking it in a can
Yeah.
and opening it.
Yeah, you took the mystery away.
The mystery is away. Did you want to know?
But I've been puzzling over that. That's something that was in some of my grandfather's stuff.
Yeah.
John?
Well, I didn't bring anything, but I collected since I was 10 or maybe younger, all kinds of things. My brother, who's 7 years older than I was, he was into history and the like. When San Jose had their centennial, we had a yoke of oxen and anything like that. I worked at was a volunteer at New Salem for a while, and as a thing. And I had my dad's 34 Alice tractor that he bought new, and I have an Alice G tractor, one that looks like a grasshopper and the like. But anyhow, so I have donated lots and lots of stuff to like Emden to their society.
Mm-hmm.
I had this school house, the teacher's desk that they now have in their school out at where their school is, out by the cemetery.
Yeah.
Bethel?
Bethel.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just at Delavan because there's been kind of a mix-up on some of the stuff that I gave. I had a log house that my wife and I brought from Kentucky. We had it at Hopedale for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the logs in the bottom were going bad, and we decided we should get rid of it. So we sold that, but I kept all the stuff. And so Delavan, when they did one of their houses that came from out east and was brought here around the Cape and up to Pekin and by ox cart to Delavan, I put a lot of furniture in there. And so my tractors, my friend has them, and he just was up at Lakin, had them on display. He's taking them to Penfield, to their tractor deal down there. And but I don't want to see my things sold, and they're gone, and
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to go and say, yeah, that was mine, and now
Mhm.
somebody else is enjoying it,
Mhm.
So I've just been giving things away.
Mm-hmm.
So anyhow, that's the story of my life.
Yeah, that's a sweet
Good
story.
job.
Nice story.
Yes.
And that's what's going to happen to all your windmills too?
Well, I'm working at that. I'm in contact with the people at Fulton, Illinois,
Ah,
where the Dutch windmill is,
yeah.
and I'm trying to work something out. They're interested. They don't have the money to buy a lot that is
Mhm.
next to them. So I'm looking for someone who would donate money to buy that lot, and then my maybe 100 windmills
You have 100 windmills?
would go to up to Fulton.
There you go. Mhm.
And I just acquired a windmill that was made at Galesburg, May. There's only like 2 or 3 that they know of, and that's being restored. My friend in Kansas is working on it,
Mhm.
and so yeah, I'm
How big are they?
Are these full-size windmills?
they're
How
farm
big?
windmills.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I'd like to buy one.
they're not for sale.
I'd like to have one. I've always wanted one on our farm. We don't have one.
We
Like
just-
Tom Pfeiffer's got a nice one on his farm, but we don't have ours on our farm.
I just, see, I have about 15 that are wooden fan, wooden blade,
Mhm.
That's cool.
and you've seen some of them here when I give programs.
Mhm.
And some of them are, sectional windmills, and
They fold up.
they fold up,
Mhm.
and then when you turn them on, they flop open and they look like a windmill.
Mhm.
And they don't have a tail. They have a counterbalance weight. And you see these windmills with some kind of a animal out on the end. Well, that's the counterbalance weight. And there's a nice one across the street from where she lives, Emden. And I was somewhat involved in getting that one restored. And I see it's got damage or something now. So, yeah,
Been windy here lately.
yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Luckily,
awesome.
mine are down low where I can see them. I have a few. I have one made by the air motor company out of Chicago, and it's a tilting tower. So the wife didn't have to climb up there and oil it and the like, and so you could tilt it. It's got a big weight down here, a counterbalance weight, so it tips up. You oil it, put it to. get a hold of the rope, pull the thing back around and lock it, and it's up in the air again.
That's cool.
So I
Well, I
would
can
tell people.
understand why you didn't bring them.
I liked the buttons you brought the last time. Were they ceramic buttons?
Yeah, they were, what do you call it, stud buttons, or
Pictorial? Yeah.
shirtwaist studs. She knows all about those. And, yeah, they were in sets and they went down the front of ladies' thing. They were like a cufflink type thing. You
Yeah.
poked them through 2 holes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they were, and so, yeah, I collect them. I have my aunt's button collection. When she died, they had an auction, and they were listed, and people came from all over to buy them, and but we had decided we were going to sell them as a group, and so some people weren't very happy that they come, but it wasn't announced either way how they were going to sell, you know.
Yeah.
And so I have that, and now I need to find a place for that.
What kind of buttons?
Every kind, all
Just
kinds.
like political buttons and
Like
all.
about maybe 15,000 buttons.
Oh my goodness.
Some of them on cards, a lot of them are loose.
Yeah, buttons are very expensive. If you get nice buttons.
Well, I had, my dad had, was one of 12 kids, had 8 sisters, and I would say 6 of them collected buttons.
Wow.
And so they were always exchanging buttons and the like. And I used to stay with my aunt in Green Valley. My dad's sister married my mom's uncle, and they were my godparents when I was baptized. And the like. Anyway, I would go and stay sometimes with her. So we'd get the dresser drawers open, and she'd lay them out on the bed and tell me all about them and stuff. So I kind of grew up with that, you know. So I've had an early childhood of enjoying things. So now, my daughter in Alaska says she doesn't want anything. Well, to get things to her is another problem, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got grandkids up there, so I think she's stuck there now. And the other daughter. One of the things I have, and I think the one daughter who's in the area, Farmington, she's going to take it, a Regina music box that plays the big disc about this big, and it sounds beautiful.
And the music is so pretty.
Oh yeah, and that has an interesting story in itself. The Jingling family at Hopedale, who ran the general store, and they had this music box. And so when the dad died, the old maid sisters continued to run the store. And I knew they had that music box. And my wife was a close friend of theirs, even as a child. So anyway, I asked the one about it one day, and she said, well, Dad got that. Kids would get their dad's tobacco pouches, and it had a tag on it. And so the kids would bring the tag in, and Dad would give them candy for their tag. And when they got enough tags, she bought that Regina music box with the tags, and got like 26 records with it.
Good.
So that's something I have. And I don't know. I like music boxes. I have several other kinds too. But it's fun. But I like for my things to go where I know they're at. And if I want to go see them,
Somebody's going to appreciate it.
I can go see them.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm 82. So I'm time needed to get things taken care of, you know. So, I'm 115 or so, I hope to have everything.
This is a Queen Anne tobacco box.
Queen Anne tobacco box.
Yeah, that's what AI
Oh, you don't
said.
have any
I
secrets
thought maybe it was
now.
a snuff box or something
No,
like
Queen
that.
Anne tobacco box.
Mhm.
It is interesting how attached we become of everything, because I've sold some beer cans in the past, and then I kind of kick myself 5 months later and I go buy them again. And usually they're more expensive than when I bought them or sold them.
Well, I have a funny story about keeping things. I keep things, but anyway, somebody was moving and they were trying to decide what they're going to get rid of because they were moving from a big place to a small place. And the theory behind it is if you get joy and love from it, you keep it. So this lady has kept almost everything. She's like, get joy out of it.
Yeah. My daughter asked me one time, she said, what am I going to do with these things when you're gone, Mother? And I said, I don't know. I'm going to enjoy them while I'm here, and then it's your problem. Yeah, I enjoy them.
Yeah, again, I think these things give us energy.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of pictures on my walls.
Does anybody have anything else?
I forgot this. My mother was in Oklahoma when she was a young girl, and she got this Native American bracelet out there. And it's the big crack in it is called a matrix, and that happens. It wasn't broken. It was broken when she bought it, and that's just part of the rock. But the annoying and a surprising thing about it, Native Americans didn't have to write sterling on it, even though it is sterling. So that throws you off, because it could be rhodium, or it could be hot metal, it could be lead, for all you know. But it has a swastika on it. And
Oh, yeah.
that is called a philpot in the Native American language, and it's a symbol of good health and good luck. Not the Nazis didn't think so.
They screwed up that, right?
Yeah, and it horrified me when I saw that on there, and I wouldn't wear it for a long time.
And we kind of forget that in past generations and past cultures, those things were still there, those designs,
Yes.
and used for different things.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's probably Egyptian, where it was passed down
Yeah.
on vases and other things.
But the Native Americans used it evidently.
Yeah, well, it's right there on both sides. My brothers used to watch war movies all the time.
Okay, I think that's it for that part of the program.